You've probably felt it before. That tightening in your chest when the silence gets loud. When the people you thought would always be there suddenly fade into ghosts. When the texts go unanswered. When the room feels colder. And you realize you're walking this path more alone than you thought. Good. Let it hurt. Let it break something inside you. Not your hope, not your faith, but the illusion that anyone owes you a damn thing. Because the moment you truly understand that no one is coming to save you is the moment you become unstoppable. Walk like you don't need anyone, because most of the time, you won't have anyone. And that's not a tragedy. That's power. When Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself in the dark hours of command, surrounded by war and death, he didn't write, "I hope they help me." He didn't cry for comfort. He didn't complain about the weight on his shoulders. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. No applause, no audience, just responsibility." That's the mindset of the man or woman who walks like they don't need anyone. They don't beg for attention. They don't collapse when they're ignored. Because they weren't doing it for approval in the first place. They do it because it's who they are. But most people, they build their identity out of fragile things, likes, compliments, temporary friendships. They shape themselves around people's expectations like clay on a potter's wheel, spinning endlessly for others. That's why the first time someone leaves, they shatter. But not you. Not anymore. You were not born to be a background character in someone else's story. You were born to be the one who walks through fire, not for revenge, not for recognition, but because fire makes iron stronger. And you are becoming iron. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Your discipline, that's your answer. Your silence, that's your response. Your resilience, that's your revenge. Because power is quiet. It doesn't brag. It doesn't shout for validation. It moves like a storm beneath the surface, waiting. And when the time comes, it changes everything, without asking permission. But here's the truth that will burn if you're not ready. You will be misunderstood. You will be left out. You will be abandoned. People will doubt you, question you, resent you. Why? Because nothing threatens the weak like someone who doesn't flinch. You walk in silence. They scream for attention. You endure in solitude. They collapse without company. You build in the dark. They decorate in the light. And your very existence will feel like an insult to everything they refuse to become. So let them talk. Let them leave. Let them look at you like you're crazy. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." You have to let go of needing people to get you, because the moment you live for their approval, you're already a slave to their opinion. The moment you chase validation, you hand over your strength. Pull it back, all of it. Every ounce of energy you wasted waiting on replies, every second you spent overthinking what they meant, every moment you hoped they'd come back and say, "I was wrong." Forget it. You don't need closure. You don't need their confession. You don't need a witness. You need to move. You need to rise. You need to walk like you don't need anyone, because the truth is, you don't. Pain taught you. Loneliness shaped you. Discipline saved you. And now you walk with a spine made of boundaries and a heart that no longer pleads. But I'll be real with you. Walking alone isn't romantic. It's brutal. It means you'll wake up with no good morning text. It means you'll go to bed with your own thoughts echoing in your chest. It means some nights the silence will feel louder than screams. And yet, it also means you'll be free. Free from manipulation. Free from chasing ghosts. Free from watering dead plants. Because you've realized you don't need anyone to tell you you're enough. You are. Not because you're perfect, but because you're disciplined. Not because you're loved, but because you love yourself enough to keep going. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. And you know what wastes time? Chasing what left, trying to fix what broke itself, waiting on people who made a choice not to show up. So stop. Reclaim every second. Reclaim your mind. Reclaim your power. There is nothing more dangerous than a man or woman who has mastered the art of walking away, not out of pride, not out of spite, but out of clarity. They see clearly now who gives energy and who drains it, who supports growth and who fears it, who talks love but acts with indifference. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You stop explaining, you stop fixing, you stop hoping, you start becoming. And every step you take alone, that's not isolation, that's evolution. Every silent morning run, every cold shower, every page you read when no one's watching, that's your soul breaking free from dependency. That's your body remembering what it means to rely on you. Because truthfully, what kind of strength is it if it only works when you're loved? What kind of mindset collapses at the sound of rejection? What kind of man needs permission to be powerful? No, real strength isn't reactive. It's proactive. You don't wait for storms to pass. You train in the rain. You sharpen your thoughts like a blade. You clean your habits like a temple. You hold yourself accountable like a soldier. Not for anyone, for you. Because you've learned, no one can give you peace. No one can give you discipline. No one can give you self-respect. These are inner wars, and you fight them alone. So walk like you don't need anyone, but walk with meaning. Each step says, I'm not waiting for your approval. I've already chosen myself. Because what I have now is peace, not the peace of comfort, the peace of control. Control over my emotions, my reactions, my direction. I don't wait for the path, I become it. That's stoicism, not pretending you don't care, but caring deeply about what actually matters. You don't need praise, you need principles, not a cheerleader, a standard, not their permission, your own discipline. And once that clicks, the silence stops hurting, the solitude becomes power. You become calm in chaos, steady when others fall apart, because you walked through fire and came out forged. So walk, not to impress, but because it's who you are now. Let them say you've changed. You have. You've stopped needing and started knowing, because stoicism doesn't teach you to chase. It teaches you to lead, to build, to be. So walk like you don't need anyone, because if you fall, you rise. If they doubt, you continue. And when they look back, they'll see the truth. They didn't break you. They built you. So thank them. Then forget them. And walk like you never needed anyone, because you never did.